heroes here, but voices thrive. Turn on your screens, let the magic unfold. Listening and healing as stories are told. Come on, come on, this is your time. No topics too tough, just heed the calls. From mental health woes to justice we seek. Together we rise for the strong and the meek. A safe space for all, let's lift every voice. Inner Circle podcast where hearts unite. Sharing our truths, bringing hope to the light. Community strong, we're never alone. Together as one, we've created a home. With laughter and love, we break down the walls. No topics too tough, just heed the calls. From mental health woes to justice we seek. Together we rise for the strong and the meek. A safe space for all, let's lift every voice. So join the
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another heartfelt episode of the Inner Circle podcast. Today is Tuesday, May 13th. This is our regular segment. So, May is Mental Health Month. So, every now and then we might, bring some mental health topic. And tonight's topic is easing stress, right? Easing family stress, or social stress, or political stress. When you hear there are some folks here, they are so glued back home, right? It's like, if you're Liberian, people on Spoon TV, about all the politics. Are you from Nigeria? You are so involved in Nigerian politics and things like that. So, or maybe family members calling you all the time, or maybe they have you in a WhatsApp group chat, it's like folks from family from all over, especially from back home. So tonight we're going to be discussing diaspora life, easing family and social stress. Sometimes political stress, sometimes it's money stress, where they're calling you from back home. So this mental health month, how can we all deal with that? So again, I'm your host Abe Kamara. I'm here with two great panelists. First of all, before I turn over to my man Peterson, I'm just warning you guys, the man voice, the man voice has something tonight. So hey, but deal with it, man. The man is like you brave out of the storm of the stress from back home, getting a host voice. But my man Peterson, man, welcome to the show from the great city of Chicago.
Uh, well, thanks, Abe. And everybody, I'm so sorry for the voice. It's something that just happened suddenly over the weekend, but this is Peterson from Chicago. If you can't hear me tonight, I'm so sorry. Maybe I will be repeating myself. But welcome to the show, and let's have a good discussion.
Yep. Okay, Miss Jerry.
Hey everyone, this is Jerry from the great city, Twin Cities. And I'm excited to discuss some of the stresses that we go through as Liberians.
Okay.
Because it's real.
That's good. That's good. That's good. So, folks, again, thanks for joining us tonight. The topic is diaspora life, easing family, social, political stress from back home, and you can contribute to the conversation by putting a comment in the chat or calling our number 952-594-5154. And Inner Circle Podcast is a community that is growing. We're on YouTube. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel, Facebook, follow us on Facebook, LinkedIn, Apple Podcast, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcast. So, Sam, man, welcome to the show.
Yeah, man. Good evening. Good evening, Dr. AB. And I'm not there. Seems to be tripping. Peterson?
Yeah, we can hear you.
We
Yeah.
can see you and hear you.
Okay. And Jerry, how you guys doing tonight?
Good. How are you?
Very
Good,
well.
good.
And of course, folks watching us, like a good evening to you too.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, folks. So Peterson, I'll start with you, right? How do you kind of, when it comes to the emotional piece, right? As we arrive here in this country, one of the things sometimes, folks will be calling you for back home, asking you for help to pay tuitions, or maybe like, certain family situation might be going back home, or they might ask you, man, maybe like you should invest, right? Maybe you should buy a house. How do you balance those kind of emotional stress from back home, right? Especially like this mental health month, how do you balance that? How do you navigate those situations?
Yeah, this is a great topic. It is something that is very stressful. It was us saying, yeah, my voice
So people,
is shot. So
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you. You're good.
yeah, it's something that is stressful, and you just have to actually think about it. You have to prioritize because some of us, it's like we are so attached back home, still have a lot of family and
Hmm.
people back home. So with that, you just have to balance and think, okay, do you have a family here? If this is your home base, your everything is here, you have to focus on here, but don't forget the people back home as well.
Hmm.
So you just have to find where to ease the stress. And sometimes what I do, I in the beginning, it was something that I didn't know how to handle. Anytime I pick up the phone, somebody's like, "Oh, this person's sick. They're going to the hospital." I have to, even if I'm not going to pay my phone bill for that month, I have to say something. But then as time went on, I I figure I'm like, okay, these people are surviving without me. So even if I'm the only person that's helping them, I have to also focus on my own family and my own life as well.
Okay. I mean, so what Peterson is talking about, right, it does have some kind of an emotional toll. So, Sam, though, how do you kind of handle that kind of an emotional toll, right? Feeling always the constant expectation to be available, to be present, and to be involved back home. What emotional toll does it take, like on folks? I mean, on all of us in the diaspora.
well, it can take a toll on you if you let it to. You know, I
Okay.
Peterson said I
Yeah.
used to face the same thing. But then when I came, um, people will ask me for money, right? And at that time Facebook just started, so everybody tried to get connected. But man, I will promise somebody, not even say I will give you $50 or give you 100. I'll say just to tell them I will see what to do.
Yeah.
My man, the stress will start in the morning. Probably what's up? Yeah, all them quick. So man, sometimes I used to hide myself on Facebook. I was just, give it because I promise the president something else comes in the way and I can't make
Yeah.
it. So
Yeah.
I start hiding myself, not picking up my phone. But
Mm.
these days, man, I don't stress myself. You ask me for something, I know I can't do it, or even if I know I will do it at some point, I'll just kind of leave you. I'll give you a straight answer. Hey man, listen, things are hard here, it's hard everywhere. You know, if God provides, I'll see what to do. But hey, I'm telling you, it's not a promise. Be very clear about it. Oh yeah.
Okay.
I don't
Okay.
allow them to stress me out, man. You got to make that separation, man.
Okay.
Because at the end of the
Okay.
day, AB, we are here. Things life is life in. We are
Yeah.
still having things that we need to balance. We still have
Yeah.
things we need to balance, and so we gotta let people know what it is.
Okay.
With all this front things. I mean, yeah, we got cars, we got this, everything got tag on it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
so money is not just growing on trees. There, people know that. People know that, but sometimes they will push you too. They will push you,
Okay.
and there are some folks who you will try your best for, right? And they will tell you, "Oh, my man, the small thing you send me, I got it." Oh,
Okay.
nigga,
Okay.
some
Yeah.
people are grateful, man. So you don't let them stress you out. You do what you can do. You live
Okay.
within your means. You help within your means. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Yeah,
Okay.
don't go overboard, man.
Miss Jerry, how do you navigate the family situation from back home, right? Is a family calling you, somebody might be, family or friends, right? So how do you navigate that for you? Do you let it stress you out, or you just ignore it like Sam, or try to balance it out?
So I was in Liberia sometime last year.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of like when I went back home, I kind of like reconnected with a lot of old friends and stuff.
Uh,
I literally took myself off Facebook the past couple of months. I just couldn't handle it. Like I could
okay.
not, because
Okay.
it's like sometimes like it's a terrible situation. Some of the things that goes on over it is some of the stories that these people explain. It's hard to say no
Mm-hmm. 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 Mm-hmm.
because you put yourself in their shoes, and it's like, oh my gosh, this person is a mom. I don't want her kid to go to bed hungry. These are the type of situations that we're talking about.
Yeah.
And then it stresses you out over year. Like, how can I help this person? At the same time, it becomes so much. It's like too many people asking that it's like, okay, I just need to take myself off this app for a little bit because I
Uh-huh.
cannot solve everyone's problem. And
Uh-huh.
because it's like the more I'm on there, it's like I feel their pain, some empathy, and I don't want to say no to them. So for me, in that instance, the best thing I did for myself was to take myself off the app.
Okay. Like, I mean, you brought a very interesting point, right? The issue of guilt. Peterson, right? Does guilt kind of make you, because, like, I mean, as you said, right? You see someone, I mean, the poverty, or maybe someone that you're close to, or folks that just, you man, it's so difficult on them. You feel that you should help, but sometimes, like, trying to balance your own responsibility here. Does that feeling of guilt kind of makes it more difficult, or maybe like make it more stressful?
Yes, it does. And just like Miss Jerry just said, you don't, even if you are that cold person that you're like, hey, my no is a no. If you see or hear some of these stories, you're gonna, like, the human part of you will feel
Hmm.
sorry for the person. And even if you don't have it, or if you cannot budget for something else, you will eventually you'll be like, you know what? Maybe I can hustle these couple of like the next couple of weeks, and I'll replace that money. Let me try to send, because like they try to guilt trip you, like you
Hmm.
said,
Hmm. Hmm.
and it makes it harder and it makes it more stressful, because you're like, okay, sometimes you're like, I want to help, but I don't want to go over, like the same was saying, like if I don't have it, I'm not going to borrow just to send, and then I have to work over and pay that person back. So it adds to the stress.
Okay. Sam, though, right? Are we like all of us are in the diaspora, whether you are glued back home or you are helping back home or folks are pressuring you, are we kind of like silently carrying the weight of two wars, right? Because that's where you're from, but now you live here, your family is here, your responsibility is here. But are we silently carrying the weight of two wars that sometimes just bogging us down?
I can imagine some people are. I'm not.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
I'm not. I've learned not to. I've
Good,
learned
Okay.
good
how
for
not.
you, sis. Good for
Yeah,
you.
yeah,
Learn how not
you are
because
probably a weird breed, Okay, explain how you make it. Explain how how you making it work.
I mean, if you're somebody who will lay your back down for everybody,
Mm-hmm.
everybody everywhere will walk on you.
Okay.
Be it in America, Africa, everywhere. It's a mindset. If you hear somebody trouble and you start shaking to help them out, you will always be that person just going there for people. Sometimes I ask myself, before I do something, I ask myself, if I were in this position, would that person help me? Sometimes my answer is no. You're on your own, bro.
Mm.
You're on your own. And my man, look, sometimes the people that just looking, they're not looking for real connection. Like just this example. Let me lay this out, right?
Yeah, yeah.
There's this buddy I've not talked to in like 12 years.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The moment that Bobby got connected with me, my man, the man slapped me in one of his problems. I mean, you will want to play it out a little bit. Let me talk to the guy for a couple of weeks. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Before my man, I said the man told me today, the man slapped me with a problem tomorrow. You know?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I look at it for a long time. I say, you know what I mean? I will gain one little piece and send you away for a long time.
Okay.
So what you're asking for, I made halfway, right?
Mm.
But guess what? He done. Because it showed to me that, hey, the connect ain't really there. You're supposed to nurture that connection a little bit before you start bringing something forward. And my
Mm.
man, listen, man. Like I said, right? Some people, like in Liberia, people got money. People can find little old shirt, little African shirt when people come in. How many times somebody have said, "Amy, you've been there for a long time. How many times? When was the last time somebody, even Peter, you got family out there? When was the last time somebody wrapped little shirt? Even though you might not wear it, right? Because for some other reasons." But wrap something on a little shell, a little gift, a little kanya, and say, "Oh, you go in America? Please get this for my brother. He living over there. Or my friend, he lives over there." They don't do it. Apparently, we over here, we don't need anything. We don't need anything. Even though, the fact
Yeah,
remains that we might not wear it, right?
yeah, yeah,
Because we have that fear of
yeah.
somebody trying to hunt us. But at least the thought of them doing something for us.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Dry leg chicken. To
Mm-hmm.
kill one leg, a goat, dry it. Do something.
Yeah,
Fish,
yeah.
something. Those things are cheap over there.
Yeah.
But no, they won't do it. They want us to ask them first. Come on, man. So
Yeah.
sometimes some of the things, don't let people drag you. Don't let people
Yeah.
drag you because like Jerry was saying, your friends were existing before they came in contact with you.
Mm-hmm.
Now they won't drag you. It's an opportunity they're trying to capitalize on. So you gotta be careful. Those people were existing before you, and somebody that went even telling better than you. Mama, that book can tell what more than us. Oh, I beg you, yeah. You think we're telling that?
Yeah. Okay. Well, here's the thing, right? To answer your question, right? As long as I've been here, the only person I've ever, thought of me, is my mom because my mom is still back home, what I mean, in the village, right? She have sent me every, when someone goes there, right? She sent me something. But to
Right.
answer your question, no one. I mean, it's like that's a great point that you just brought up, and like, and you see a lot of. A lot of folks from back home complain about that. It's the man. Not one day they will ever think about you to send you the little thing. And then that's kind of it's like a one-way street, right? It's like a one-way street and things like that. So to answer that question, only my mom has done that. No friend, no family have ever done that. But Miss Jerry, though, right, with the age of social media, with WhatsApp, with Facebook, what additional pressure is that? I know you say you have you have run away from Facebook because you were connected with all your old friends. What additional pressure I mean, what additional pressure that's just bringing on, right, to make things so worse, right? Is that because by the time the person, and sometimes the thing is, as soon as you're on Facebook, hi, they jump on it. What
Oh,
additional pressure is that bringing on?
these people see the life on social media and they want it for themselves.
Okay.
However, they don't want to work for it. They
Mm,
want it at the expense of other people. They want everything in America. They want to buy from Shein. They want this. They want that, and everything else. But they want to call you and demand that you send them $300. I mean, any idea how hard you work for the money, for your
mm,
money.
mhm,
They don't even have any goals in mind. What they're going to do with that money?
mm,
They're just going to put, as you said, pledge it, like
mhm,
go
mhm.
buy things, and everybody wants to look good. Or like Liberian girl will tell you she spent $500 for her hair,
Okay.
and they're wearing the latest things in that country. When I went over there, I was shocked. There is this place I went to. I think it's like one of the hottest spot over there. It's called, I don't know, the Calabash or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
calabash.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! If you want to know, Liberian people know how to have fun and they enjoy it in that country. go, go to that, go to that spot. I
Yeah.
saw almost everybody and their grandma over there. Like people I haven't seen, I don't know how many years.
Mhm, 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 mhm,
Kind of over there. But when you see how these people dress, and then when they come online and when they come in your inbox to explain some of these stories to you,
mhm,
it's like I see you on Facebook. Your hair is done. Your makeup is done.
mhm,
And you're telling me your child didn't have food to eat. So like make it make sense, please. I beg. But anyways, I don't. Maybe I understand we're very similar. I don't like things like that stress me out. If it's getting too much for me, I
mhm.
took myself off the app. Like no contact. You don't see me. You can ask me. It's what it is. I'm
No,
not going.
don't take yourself. Just go to the message and silence it. Just
But
join
they
the
will keep coming.
notification
But they
because
will
they will
keep coming in
message
your
you
in.
all
But they
day.
will
You
keep
not
coming in
do
your
it.
inbox though. They will
Don't,
keep
eh?
coming in your inbox.
Now I'm telling you, go to their message, right?
Uh huh. Uh huh.
Silence it.
Mhm.
If you're curious to read what they're saying sometimes, wait when
Mhm.
it's when you up, you go, you open it, and you mark it on red. Leave from there.
I'm
Big here.
not doing it. That's what
Yeah,
I'm
the
doing.
dog. I said the-
Let me check myself.
But
It's like
I ain't
that.
coming stress myself by your situation. I
No,
beg
but
you, yeah.
the reasons too, I took myself off the app. Too many people are dying. Like I don't know if it's the same with any of you guys. Every time I go on an app, it's some kind of death news with
They die
somebody
Mhm,
that.
everywhere.
Yeah, I'm
mhm,
like, this is too much for me. It's with a mental health thing. Like, this is too much for my mental health. These are people my age that I grew
yeah,
up with. Like
mhm,
every time somebody's dying on that app.
mhm.
So some of those things. Those were some of the reasons I took myself from there.
Yeah. Curious thing, right? Same thing to you, right? What additional pressure or stress, right? Social media has brought on, right? It's like because these days it's not only Facebook though, right? It's like everyone all over the place. There's TikTok, there's Snapchat, there's WhatsApp. I mean, the WhatsApp group sometimes you just feel like certain people just hit you over WhatsApp. You wonder, is who's this person? You know what I mean? And things like that. What
Yep.
additional pressure have these all of these Facebook, all of these social media app has put on us?
Yeah. So is not to take the inner circle podcast word, it's amplify. Amplified it because now if somebody text me on Facebook or they message me on Messenger, uh, because I keep telling them all the time, we are not like you guys. We don't turn off data and turn on data and this and that. If my
Mhm.
phone is on, if I click on Messenger and click back off, it's going to show the green light to them. And then they
Yeah.
will start texting. If I don't respond, those who know me on WhatsApp, they will go on WhatsApp and then they will start texting me on WhatsApp. So it's added pressure because it's like now they have multiple ways of contacting you because
Mhm.
some of those same people, like years ago, somebody called me and I had no idea how he got my number because I guess my phone number was on Facebook, but
Yeah.
he took my number and then he's like, "Hey, can you help me with my school fees?" And this is a complete stranger. I didn't know this came from nowhere. He called me
Wow.
and he
Yeah.
just started, like just calling every time texting me. So I sent one of
Mhm.
my brothers. I'm like, okay, you guys are in the same location. This person keeps calling me. I don't know who they are. So they went there and they asked him, like, how did you get his number? He's like, oh, I got it off of Facebook. And now he's like, he tried to fabricate this relationship like he knew me before or his uncle or somebody
Mhm.
that is
Mhm.
connected to me. So now with social media, there are multiple ways that they can contact you if it's not through Facebook. For me, I'm not on every like platform. I only
Yeah.
stay with Facebook and WhatsApp. So those are the two ones that get data with just calls and messages, and they would just call back to back. When they turn on their data, they would just keep calling every time, and then they would send a message. Oh, I'm calling you, not answering.
Like
Mm-mm.
like Sam though, right? Sometimes that you have total strangers calling you, like to I mean to Peter's point, total strangers. Sometimes you want to escape, sometimes you want to be. I mean, you might be tempted, you want to respond, but it's okay. Why you keep calling me, or why you hitting my inbox? Right? How do you deal with those? How do you deal with such a situation? Sometimes the person is not even connected to you, but you want to, they hitting you up. Sometimes either on Facebook or WhatsApp or whatever.
You know, the annoying part, they will call you on video straight. So this is your friend request. You know,
I think you
you
know
say,
me. I'm
okay,
just
let me
so
just see what this
fucking
person. Yeah, they call you straight on video. We never called you before. You calling me straight on video. And then one time, mistakenly answer the video call, the man in the dark.
Oh shit!
So that, I said, hello. He said, yeah, brother. I said, who's this? You know, they said, I mean, I said, yeah, you call me on video and you in the dark, bro. You know? So, yeah, but I mean, those kind of things, man. I don't, maybe I don't, I've trained myself not to worry about certain things. You
Okay.
know,
Okay.
you call me back to back. I see that number. I see that name. I don't recognize him, bro. I'm
Mhm.
about to stress. One of my man, myself, another guy, myself just got connected. Somebody gave him a number. I'm like, bro, he myself were childhood friends.
Mhm.
I mean, every morning, man, get a man send me power forces, my man. You know the man, the man pass so bad. He just timing me. I can tell you, timing me. I know that request coming. They make it bless me every morning, brother. And my WhatsApp, my go to make it bless me every morning. But I know something coming behind that blessing them.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
that
know.
things like it be a blessing in return.
Of course,
Yeah, he
prepare
thank
you.
God he nurturing me right now.
Mhm.
You know. So as soon he sent that request, my son will start blessing him verbally too. You know,
Bless me,
I
brother.
start giving scriptures. I
Let,
beg you.
let scripture interpret scripture, huh?
I gave scriptures too.
Mhm.
Uh,
Well, folks. So now we are discussing diaspora life. Eastern family, social, political, gossip from everywhere. I mean, the stress from back home. How you dealing with it? So tonight you can contribute to the conversation by calling our number 952-594-5154 or putting a comment in the chat. But this is a good topic, and May is Mental Health Month, so we want to see dealing with stress here, we all know how about dealing with family stress from back home, dealing with political stress. I mean, some people are so glued back home, right? They follow every detail and things like that. So that's a piece of it like I want to hit next, right? There are people, man, it's like they are connected to everything back home, right? It's like the politics, the daily life, as you mentioned, D Calabash, whatever. Some people will tell you what happened in right now in D Calabash or
Yep.
whatever, right? It's like you wonder is like how these people navigating those two worlds, Miss Jerry? How do you think they are navigating those two worlds? Some people is like are glued into Spoon TV 24/7, right? And some people just listening to, as I said, they know every detail of stuff going on back home.
Most of these people, you come to find out they gotta go. They work hard certain time of the year, save up the
Mm-hmm.
money.
Mm-hmm.
The dip to LIB to stay there for a few months is like that's the circle. They go
Okay.
enjoy it and they come back home. They come back
Mm-hmm.
to the US. Most of those people are in the situation is like they go back and forth between LIB and America a lot of the times because it's kind of like they live in both places at this point. That's how it is for most of them. But at the
Mm-hmm.
same time, I find a lot of them struggle financially because every penny they work for is going right
Mm-hmm.
back to them living this lavish lifestyle when they go back home. And
Mm-hmm.
when they come back to the US, it's like they're starting all over again. It's like a circle. Like work, go, come back and start over. I don't know.
Yeah. Peterson, is it possible to live such a life for a long time without feeling overwhelmed, stressed, overburdened? Navigating those two words that Miss Jerry is talking about, is it really possible, right? It's like maybe 6 months here, 6 months there. Is that a fulfilling life? Or can it even or just adding extra stress and burden?
I think that adding extra stress, I don't think is something that can endure or that would last. Because
Mm-hmm.
those who do that, like Miss Jerry just said, you spend all your resources, or you still have bills here. You still have responsibilities and things here, and especially in the U.S. where every single thing you have to pay for. Now, if you accumulate some capital, then you take it and go back home and you live this lifestyle that people think like, yeah, you own America basically, and then when you come back here, you have to like hustle again. So I don't think is something that is fulfilling. Is I don't know those who do that consistently. I don't know how they feel about it, but like you said, a lot of people are glued back home when it comes to how life is back there because they still have that interest. Like, okay, well, in the next 6 months, how they call it, Decemberies or whatever. I'm gonna be going back, so I need to keep my ears on the ground to make sure that everything is going good, so that I can take my trip. So that's why they have so much interest in it.
Okay. I mean, Sam, you in the mental health space, right? We now is saying here that many folks that are doing that, they are so overwhelmed or they are overwhelmed, but do they know they are? I mean, that's a no. Is like, is it? I mean, is like, are they living that kind of level out, knowing that, hey, man, there's something that's not right, or they feel like, they are it's just normal? Has that been normalized now, such a life?
I feel like it's been normalized, and a lot of them are aware and they come back very overwhelmed. But at the same time, it's like they like the lifestyle in Liberia. If they have it
Mm,
any way, they want to live in Liberia. However, Liberia is not giving them the opportunity to live there. So,
okay.
like, it's like the hustle ground. They come, they
Okay.
hustle, they make their money, and it's like, okay, I will sacrifice my body and everything for the next couple of months and work double. And then when
Hmm.
I go Liberia, it's my time to enjoy. It's my time to relax. And then I just see America as a place to hustle.
But is that really enjoyment though, Sam? Is that really enjoyment, right? If you come here like you work, maybe like it's like sometimes, I mean, some of the people working double, right? It's like sometimes no life, but then you go home, right? You feel you so relaxed. Is that really enjoyment? Are you really relaxed?
Yes and no. Yes, it is for some,
Okay.
right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not for me. If I was involved in that kind of dealing, it won't be for me. But one thing we gotta understand, people do what they think is best for them, right?
Mm-hmm.
But as I look at it, from my point, it's not something I would like to do, man. And most people who do that, you
Mm-hmm.
you you will have your mind, totally in one space. Some people
Okay.
come here, and all they do is think about that day when they can finally go to Liberia and be there. So everything they do, every interaction, every investment that they do, is back there,
Mm-hmm.
right? That's how they live, you know. But
Mm-hmm.
I have a totally different a mindset about Liberia, you know,
Mm-hmm.
especially live here, because I think that when I'm old, I want to be in a place that has good health care, a place that has less stress, and so I will do my best to invest. If it's not like America, it will be in another country that's not going to be stressful.
Okay.
I will not be in Liberia where when my high blood pressure is high, you know, ambulance is not even yet, but
What?
you know what I mean?
What's
And
Oh,
about
when
the
you
you
argument? What's
can
about
go
the
see Dr.
argument?
Peter
No, no, no.
George.
What's about the argument that you're eating
Are you
organic
so
food?
nuts that you're
You
not
are
going to go
eating
back home?
organic food. Everything's organic. What's about that
no,
argument?
no, no,
Everything's
no,
organic.
no, no. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. I
Yeah,
tell people all the time. The time to
yeah,
enjoy like bro is when you're young.
yeah.
When you're young, that's when you want to enjoy Liberia. Not when you're old. That's not a place for you. When you're old, you got, you know, we all will get there. You will get high
Yeah.
blood pressure, diabetes, cholesterol, all the things that will come when you hit 70 or 60 plus, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so you don't want to be in a country where the healthcare is next to nothing.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Okay,
not
so,
where you want to be.
so I have this Liberian old man who I kind of like, I call my adopted grandma.
Yeah.
So she has diabetes here, right?
Yeah.
So we Liberia at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Surprisingly, because of the food and less stress, the whole time she was over there, she never had to take any of her medicine or medication. She was
Okay.
fine.
Okay.
And
Okay.
as she returned
Wait,
back to the
wait,
US,
wait. She
here
was
the
fine,
doctor
but she
tell me
was she
that
going
she
to the hospital? Was she going for regular checkup?
There's no hospital there to go for checkup.
yes, that's something she has to take every day when she's here. And
Mm.
the whole time we were over there, she didn't have to do any of those things because she was so relaxed. The food was good. It didn't have a lot of sugar content as compared to the US.
How
So
long?
Mm.
better.
How long she was there for?
We were there for 3 weeks.
I'll go straight to bed. I didn't tell. I'll go straight to bed. I didn't tell medication. She was saying persist.
Okay. Okay, well, folks, tonight's a great discussion. We are discussing diaspora life, easing family stress, social stress, political stress, or whatever stress, from back home, that we go through, right? May is mental health month. So the number to call is 952-594-5154 if you want to contribute to the conversation. Again, 952-594-5154 if you want to contribute to the conversation, or you can also put a comment in the chat. It's a great discussion, right? This thing is very, very educative. I'm learning a lot as always, right? It's like, Miss Jerry said, so maybe you go there with high blood pressure or diabetes, because of the organic food, no sugar, you might survive. But my man Sam is saying, take it 2 more, 3 more, and see what will happen to you. 3 week visit, maybe you get buried. You say, okay. You say, okay, 3 week 2 or 3 week visit, you say, okay, it's all fine and things like that. But when it goes beyond that, it's a whole different ball game though. Well, Peterson, the other aspect I want to bring up about politics. Man, some folks that are so good into politics back home, right? Like sometimes if there's an election, even if there's not election, a recent example I could point to, there was this situation going like between two speakers, well, or something or whatever, two speakers. Sometimes like you go to some gathering, that's all folks want to talk about. I'm wondering, okay, what does it have to do with me? Right? It's like why are some folks just but they are so glued back into politics and everything like that.
Yeah, so it's like the same thing we say about those same people having interest in other issues that's not even political, but they are people that when you investigate or you come to find out here
Mm-hmm.
where you live, they don't participate in like the political
Yeah,
discussion.
yeah,
Here we're not be so interested in voting or even going to research these candidates here. But everything about back home, they know about who is running, what their issues are, and everything. Because I don't know if it's just another space for them to keep their interest to the mainland to say, okay, maybe if they lose that part, then they are not so connected to Liberia anymore. So a lot of them, they just keep that political aspect of it, but more people are so like interested in it when they're like diehard fans. They're either like how here we have Republicans or Democrats. They're either
Mhm.
I don't know other parties in Liberia, but they're either UP or CDC or this, and they are diehard like constituents.
Okay. Sam, why do you think, folks are to Peterson point, we are here, right? We're paying taxes here. We do everything here. I mean, most of us are citizens, but we don't vote, we don't participate, right? But then we are so glued into
Man,
politics back home.
before you ask me the question here,
Uh,
you are setting the kind of discussion.
that's
How
what I'm
have,
saying.
how
I
have
thought,
you managed over these? You've been in this country longer than I don't
yeah.
know. How connected are you with your people, and how you manage to separate yourself to have that balance? How do you do it?
What I've come to realize, right, is like, once you start having family, right, your family, you have to prioritize, you have to figure out your priorities, right? Is that what are your priorities, and things like that. And then, I have been here, I have been around for a while. Some people you hear, oh, I want to go back home, I want to go build my dream back home, I want to go run for politics. And sometimes you see some of these people buried in right in the graveyard here, right? Some of them they are graveyard here. When you take when you think about those things, you say, okay, I might have all of those dreams or those aspirations, but guess what? Tomorrow I could be gone and I look at myself, but damn, I still here like maybe 10, 15 years. I ain't accomplished nothing. I ain't even enjoy this country. I didn't travel around America. I didn't do any of that, and things like that. Or maybe I get sick. I have seen some friends who get sick, right? They talk about, man, when they go back to Liberia, how they would do this, how they would do that. And they never had the opportunity to do that. They never had the opportunity to do that, right? You can point
Right.
to their graves. And so it just kind of will give you a wake up call. It's like, okay, whatever they are doing down there is them, right? It's not like, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. They did maybe if I want to move back home, maybe I should care about that. But I realized, okay, I'm paying taxes here. Everything I do, right, this is where it's like, I'm paying I'm paying taxes. My kids are here and things like that. You look at, okay, you know what? I think I should focus where I'm at, and then anything else is just secondary.
Right.
Does that answer your question?
No, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
Before you ask me that question too, I
Hmm.
had a question in mind for Jerry.
Hmm.
Jerry, you do you think? Are you with me?
Yeah, just a minute. Let's go watch you come on there, right? But the other thing too, right, about that whole political piece, right? About that whole political piece, I think, or whatever piece is it, right? Even because some people like they will say, oh, they want to build house back home. I have had even my mama reached out to me and say, hey, you gotta. As I told her, say, you know what? Hell no. Okay, why am I going to build a house somewhere that I might never, never? I say, if you, right, like if my older brother and I build house for her, right? It's like that's what she wanted, right? We did that, right, and things like that. But she said, when someone tell me, oh, you should build a house back home, for what? You know what I mean? It's like I feel no need to do that because I might never go back to the house. And so, but you see a lot of folks that are doing that, maybe building their dreams home. You know what I mean? They're so connected. These things sometimes it just create extra added stress. Like
Yes.
it just create a whole nother distraction, and distraction brings stress. You know.
What
You
what
living
ask a
uncomfortably.
question?
Uh,
Are you trying to ask me a question, Sam?
oh yeah, yeah. I'll
Mhm.
come to it. Let me comment on what Ab said too.
Mhm.
Very critical. You
Yeah.
living comfortably. Somebody will live uncomfortably for 20 years trying to build that dream house, and by the time they finish building, they can't even go back home because
But let me add to
that's
that though.
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead, Miss Jerry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So I feel like I don't know. So when you look at other cultures, I would just go to our neighbors. For example,
Mhm.
Ghana,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm. Mhm.
When Ghanaians come here, a lot of the time it's like it's a cultural thing for them. You cannot leave your country and come back with nothing.
Okay.
So a lot of the times you find out like when Ghanaians come here, the goal, even though they live a life here, they have their families here and all of that. But the goal is before I go back home, I should have something to contribute. They take pride in that. So instead of just looking at the stress part of it is like, okay, my family expect me to build a house or to do a business because this, in a way, contributes something to my community. And when I go back home, it's like a powerful thing. It's like, look, I did something. I
Mm.
accomplished something. So
Okay.
that's how they see it. So you find out because of that, because of that mindset, a lot of them are building things back home because they don't want to go back with nothing. It's kind of like a shameful thing to go back with nothing or to not have anything.
But it's not
However,
creating added stress to them. I mean, added stress
No,
though.
no,
I
no,
mean,
no.
you
Every, let
right?
me say this. Let me say this,
Yeah,
Jerry.
yeah, yeah.
You're right. The Ghanaians, the Nigerians, and other Africans do it. But guess what? These people have countries that got great health care. They got doctors.
Yep. That's the same Ghana.
You
If
can
somebody's
leave
speaking
from
Liberia, we
here.
send somebody to Ghana.
Yeah, you can leave from here and go to Ghana and get good treatment, good education.
it's
So,
because they've been going back home and taking the expertise back home. We're not doing those things for our country.
my dear, they have Liberians here who have taken their expertise back since before some of us came to this country. They
Yeah,
get frustrated.
yeah.
Something wrong with our country. We're still trying to figure out what it is. Listen, you can take your American children. I'm telling you, you can take your American children from here, take them to Ghana, school them for a few years. They will come back here and they will compete. They will even be better than Americans, the average American students here
Mm.
in math, science, and reading, and other subjects. They will do very and extremely well. Take those children to Liberia. Let them go attend the average school in Liberia. Those children come out here and say they will not even understand themselves anymore. I know 2 young children who just came to this country just about 2 months ago. They
Mm.
got enrolled in school. They were in Ghana and they're doing extremely well. As a matter of fact, the lady was talking to me, you forgot that she just came from Ghana.
And I know
Well,
one was just for Liberia and she's behind. She was in one of the best Liberian schools.
See that? I'm telling you. So when we are
I'm
sitting
very
there
lucky to
saying we
come in
don't
that
want to,
situation.
okay.
She's
Let
we
me
being
don't want
get.
to build
Let me,
our
let
house
me hold
in
you
like,
guys
we don't
there.
want
Though.
to.
Let me.
It's not
but
because we don't
but
love school.
we can keep focusing on those things and now want to do something back home. That's my point I was trying to
Yeah,
make.
but some of us are choosing to do otherwise, and y'all can do what you want to do. Some of us because of these reasons that I just mentioned. Right now,
Mm.
a Nigerian man, Ghanaian man can build his house. He can turn around and sell that house for probably more than what he put it for. Go sell your house like Bravo, you know, pay 80,000. Somebody can tell you, my man, not pray, I give 10,000. Why are you
We
insulting me?
we lost another one. We lost AB, now we lost him. Like no hope for Liberia.
No,
Yeah.
no, no, no. So here's the thing, though. Let me just hold them there. I think, yeah. I mean, Cycle podcast, I don't like to be positive, right? Even the Nigerians or the Ghanaians, you guys are present. If you go in our communities, it's not all gravy, though, right? It's not all gravy. Like
Maybe
the
there
yeah,
are
like
things
the
that
stuff you talk
where I
about.
think
No, like the
we
stuff you talk about, Jerry.
are focusing on the negative instead of
Mm,
saying how best can we together do
mm,
something. We always look at it negative, and that's why nothing is being done in our country because a lot of us here in the diaspora who have come here with a lot of education, we go Liberia and then we get discouraged and stop. Who told you Ghana wasn't that way before? If you talk to people who live, as in call it back in the Normandy or whatever, a lot of Ghanaians used to come to Liberia to look up to Liberia for those things. Ghana was nowhere. But because those people were persistent and consistent, they did not give up on their country. A lot of you are already giving up on your country, and it's basically you don't even have no plans to go back home. Nothing. You don't have nothing to do with Liberia, and it's like you're done. And if you
I'm the
continue to
first
have that
citizen. I will
mindset,
go to
like
Thailand.
we're going to be the way it is because we're just gonna stay here and die because we don't have nothing, no plans, and nothing to contribute to Liberia anymore.
okay, so Miss Jerry, though, here's the thing, right? I mean, here's the thing. The countries you're now trying to compare to, right? Like Nigeria is almost 250 million people. They got that issues. There are a lot of Nigerians when they come, they don't ever want to go back home, even with that added pressure of trying to build back home
But the
or trying to
majority do
do
want to
something
go
there.
back home, and the
But how do
majority go
but
back
how do
home
you
and
know the majority? How do you know the majority? When they make
Because
when that man cross the ocean, how do you know that man gonna go back home?
where their country is going. Can't you
Okay.
see Nigeria, how far Nigeria is? Because of the people that come to this country, whether it's the UK or the US. Have you seen the Nigerians movies and the music? Do you think those people learn those things in Nigeria? No, most of them were schooled out of Nigeria and took those things back. And they're pouring back into their economy, into their in different sectors in the industry, and they're getting better. The Ghana, and as we say, we're praising Ghana, we're praising Nigeria because people just didn't sit there and say, okay, because our country is so corrupt. Who told you corruption is not in Nigeria? Corruption is in Nigeria. Nigeria is corrupt.
Okay.
However, people are not giving up on their countries. They're still going back and doing things.
Okay. Okay.
It's
Yeah.
very recently we started seeing stable current in Monrovia, not even in Liberia, right? You go pay a big horse that requires you to keep your generator on and blah blah blah. It's so costly for many people.
Mm-hmm.
It's so costly. Nigeria has power. They have current. Current's cheap. Ghana got current. Current's cheap, right? If you're living in America, you pay a house in Ghana. The market is there where you can rent a house for good money.
But we can
Liberia,
create that market in Liberia. We can create those things in Liberia.
yeah, no,
Okay,
no.
let me
I
let me
like
let
the fact
Peterson let me let
and
Peterson let's
Jerry,
just go. Same
don't think
same
that.
same thing to bash the brilliant
No,
tonight.
no, 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 no.
If
Let
I
me
get a
take this
bash the
stance,
brilliant
right?
tonight, so it's all the brilliant
No,
folks that are, you know.
I'm a patriotic Liberian, right?
Okay,
Let's be
okay.
y'all mute Sam.
That
Everybody.
we
Figure.
So
Eh,
I'm a patriotic Liberian, right?
eh, eh.
But at the end of the day, I'm a realist,
Okay,
right? I'm a
okay,
realist.
okay.
Liberia, we have a lot of work to do.
Mm-hmm.
We had a lot of work to do when I was there. I left. We still got a lot of work to do. All right. And the path that we are traveling on, the bookman said the trajectory that we are navigating on, it doesn't seem promising. Not at all.
Okay, okay.
Not at all. Because when you even look at the people, the folks that are in power that are supposed to be making laws for us and trying to change things and move things. When you even listen to them, you can feel sorry for our country.
Okay,
You can feel sorry for our country. The
okay.
private sector is not existing. The government is a struggle. We've been struggling for many, many years. Liberians, we don't love ourselves. Here's the thing. You see, quickly, before you can take me off or shut me down. Quickly. You see Nigeria and Ghana that you mentioned, those people have culture, they have identity. Liberians, we are chameleons. You pour
Okay. We
among
are
Ghana
very
people right now with other Ghanaians. You pour among Nigerians with other Nigerians. We don't stand for something. You pour Americans with other Americans.
And
The
then that's a
Ghanaians
talent.
stand
That's
as
a
Ghanaians.
talent.
The
That means
Nigerians stand
we
as
are got
Nigerians.
we can fit anywhere.
Yeah, and we think that's a good thing. We think that's a good thing, but it's also a bad thing because we don't have a mutual identity.
okay.
And because we don't have an identity, we don't love our country like we're supposed to. All of this
Mm,
corruption and blah, 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 blah is because the love for country is not there.
okay.
It's not really there.
Okay. Peterson, your take. Peterson, your take on this, right? It's like, yeah, Peterson, your take. Go
Yeah. So
ahead. Yeah, just Miss Jerry and Sam. The man is passionate about. Let's go. Let's go, Peterson.
no. So to add to what Miss Sherry was saying, and to kind of Sam's point about people not having a love for country.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's what we always saying here. The minority feel drowns out like the positive that people do. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like those who are in power or who we look up to guide the country and bring us into the modern age of
Mm-hmm.
freedom. Uh, it's all about self. They want to, I want to say, enrich themselves. It's all about, okay, what can I get out of the country? What can I get out of my people? So there are a lot of people in the diaspora who have the heart for Liberia, and it takes people to go, but at the same time, like to Sam's point earlier, it does get frustrating, but at the same time, and like what Miss Jerry said, Ghana and other neighboring countries, they were not built overnight. These
Mm,
things were there, and they exist in those countries as well, even now. And
mm.
it's probably up to a bigger level because they are bigger or larger in population and things like that. But
Yeah.
it takes perseverance and people to go. I mean, if I go there today and I do not succeed, that does not mean that the next person behind me will face the same obstacles. So it's a mindset. Like our people is we need to, those of us that have come out of Liberia, once we go back, those that are planning to go back, I know saying you don't ever want to go back there, but those who want to return to Liberia, it takes perseverance, and you need that mindset to go and train our people, because it's like even with social media, the people, they still are not exposed the right way to like the right culture. The all they see on Facebook is like this flamboyant life, people living
Hmm.
big life, people living this, so they just think like, oh, okay, well, that's how things are supposed to be. And it's not, everything cannot be done overnight. So
Okay.
we need to take it one step at a time.
Is it a responsibility though? Okay, go in here and then I want to bring another discussion about go here. Go ahead, Miss Jerry.
I wanted to talk about the identity thing. A lot of the times we love to say Liberians don't have identity, and I don't feel that is true.
Mm.
You haven't, just the way we speak, it's an identity.
Mm-hmm.
There is no other African country that speak our colloqua. That's one of our identities, and we do have cultural identities. There are a lot of tribes in Liberia that stay practice their traditions and
Mm-hmm.
different things that is they still practice till that's an identity. We do have an identity. And another thing we fail to realize is our country went through a civil war that put us, I don't know how many years backwards.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So a lot of times when we have these discussions, we also have to take those things into consideration. Ghana never experienced the war that we experienced. Nigeria never did. A war, when a country experiences a civil war, it caused a lot of damage and a lot of trauma to its people. So all of those things too, we have to look at it when we're talking about Liberia and identity and how we don't have love for our country. That war basically display hundreds of, I don't know, thousands of Liberians that are all over the world today that can't even find their way back home.
Okay. Well, just quick thing to that, right? Nigeria and Ghana were colonized, and Nigeria did go through a civil war, but that was long time ago and
All
things like
time.
that.
And
But
it wasn't at the
yeah.
level at which Liberia, it was
Okay.
the experience at our level.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's a
That is
good.
true. That is
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
They but you
But
know,
here's the other thing, though,
maybe
right? But here's the other thing. But here's the other thing. Sam, before you come in and over another bash of Liberia, right? Here's the other thing. Is it a responsibility of those in the diaspora, whether you're from Nigeria or Ghana, to develop, to develop their home country? Is it a responsibility? It's not just creating added stress or added, pressure.
my man, the issue I have with Liberia is system. We look, Liberia can be developed collaboratively. The Liberians here and the Liberians there. Liberia does not have a system, right?
Mm-hmm.
And even Liberians, like when I said we don't love our country, when I mentioned that earlier, you will see a Liberian man will spend 20 years in this country, abide by all the rules, all of the regulations that is in this country, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why? Why will he do that? He will
Mm-hmm.
do that because he knows that every law and every rule that is broken in this country, there's a penalty, there's consequences. That same man will abide by these rules, left and right, his entire life here. He will leave from here the second he lands in Liberia. First thing you will see his seatbelt off. He driving. He will not do it here. He will have liquor bottle in his hands, drinking, driving. He will not do it here.
But is that only limited to Liberia, though?
My man, I'm talking about I can see, but I see.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about I can see, right? So the man lives in a system that he sees here. Instead of him going back over there encouraging people, he goes back and starts doing the same thing that everybody else is doing. You can't even differentiate if the man is from a modernized country or he's been in Liberia. He just rolls right into things. So, Jerry, the thing you're talking here, I mean, I agree with you. I like that you're very passionate about
I,
Liberia.
Yeah, I can understand your frustration. Anyone that went Liberia, it's obvious that we don't have system in place. It's obvious that our government is so corrupt. There is no accountability for anything that goes on in that country, and
And
that's
that's the
where
big thing, accountability. The,
I,
the
I,
reason why the
oh,
reason why corruption exists is the lack of accountability, the lack of consequence. You and
yeah,
So,
myself working here. If we see some kind of money, like maybe you work in finance, right? Even though you probably will not have access to liquid money, but if you did, or even me, right? If I did, I know the consequences behind my actions. If I see money, I know what will happen to me, right?
mm,
My black side will either end up in Liberia or in Nigeria for a long time.
okay.
So when I think about those consequences, right? Those alone will scare me. I know very well I can't do it. Forget about believing in God. You scared of God, all kind of thing. But the first thing you think about, damn, if I try this thing here, I will be locked up for a long time. You will not do it.
Okay.
Those are consequences that you'll be reminded of. In Liberia, we walk away with impunity. Everything. Everything. Today, Prophet Key was costing somebody's mind. He told the person, he said, I don't want to go to jail and leave from that the next day. You know why he said that? Because he went to jail and the vice president freed him. The next day for him to go campaign in my country. Now he opened his mind saying that kind of things. So people will say things like that. I want to open my mind and say that, Lord, maybe I will bill and go to jail and move on the next day. Who am I? You know, so these are problems. We don't have system in the country, and it's frustrating.
Okay.
And when I
Peter.
say system, it leads from
Mhm.
healthcare, education, blah, 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 blah. These are what we're crying for. If
Okay.
systems come to Liberia, we will invest. I mean,
Okay.
mind you, I got a house over there, but I regretting this now saying.
Okay. Peter. Peter. The man is like elder. The man house down there. Get to that do it. All I want added to the man stress. And then you gotta miss Jerry. Every Jerry say, "Oh, the member, the member moved by road." And then get when you get to that do it. All I want. All I
No,
want added
so
to the man stress. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, to Stan's point of there being a lack of systems and things. Now,
Before you
these
say something
systems,
to that, right? Before you say something, let me just catch you there. Before you say something to that, right? Is that even creating like more stress, right? Where in like okay, like more situation when people feel like so stressed out about it because maybe they want to do something there, but they cannot do it, right? The
yeah,
lack of system, the corruption. Is
mhm,
that creating added stress for
it does.
Liberians here or those that other countries that are experiencing similar things?
No, it is a factual thing that
Mm-hmm.
majority of Liberians, just like other citizens of other countries, when they come here, the idea is not to live here like all of your life. A lot of people come here, they want to hustle, they want to make money, and then go back home and live a comfortable life. But not having systems in place, the corruption, the lack of accountability, all of these other things that Sam they mentioned, these they are other stress because it frustrates you. You come with the mindset of okay, you know what? After so and so, I'm going to do something back home, and I'm going to like be visiting frequently and things like that. But with all these lack of resources and infrastructure, it frustrates people, and it's other stress because now you're battling with yourself, like do I want to continue this project because things are not getting better? Am I going to ever finish? Would I ever go back home and stuff like that? So it's added stress. And like what Sam was just saying, if the system comes into Liberia, if we do have a system in place, it's up to those of us in the diaspora to bring those systems. It's like what Ms. Jerry said earlier about Nigeria and like the entertainment industry, the movies and the music and things like that. Those people, they went out of the country, they learned their craft or they mastered it, and then they came back into the country. So if we Liberians do the same thing, I mean, not everybody would fail. That's my
Okay.
point.
Okay, but yes, now I want to also the last touch here, right? I want you guys, each of you, to just make a comment on this. We all sit here in the comfort of our American homes and identify all of the issues around Liberia and Africa. One thing is certain: only Africans can build Africa. What is the responsibility to the homeland? Now, do you think though only Africans can build Africa? Peterson, you are already on the floor. I will start with you. What is your response there to this man?
Yes, I think I agree with Latosh because uh, to the point that I was making, those who travel out of the country are the same ones that are going to come and invest into the country. We don't expect somebody like America will never invest in Liberia the way Liberians would. I mean, since before a lot of us were born, we have Firestone in Liberia. We have Manimba with the iron ore. There is a 24/7 operation from Manimba with the iron ore, but not one development is from that iron ore. So if it's something that we use, what we have as citizens of Liberia, we can build the country. When you take Rwanda for example, it was not like other countries or America. I mean, uh, if China makes an investment, they're getting something back. So what to last touch point about only Africans can build Africa? Yes, that's true because we are the ones who benefit from it.
But what responsibility should I have there? If I'm here now, I'm living my life here. God bless
Right.
me. I came here across the ocean. I have my family here. Everything of mine is here. What
Mhm.
responsibility should I have to a country that I'm not paying tax in? I'm not doing nothing there. What responsibility should I have there?
No, I think any way that you can contribute to the country's development, it would be beneficial to you and your family.
Okay. Sam, anything to say to that
Well,
about Africans developing Africa?
I disagree with Titus in part.
Okay. Okay.
The man stated that only Africans can build or develop Africa, and
Okay.
that's not true, right?
Okay. Okay.
Only Africans can love Africa like the way it should be.
Yeah.
No other people will love Africa like us, right?
Okay.
But when we look at Liberia and other countries have invested and developed Africa in a way,
Okay.
right? When
Mhm.
companies go to other countries, they have corporate social responsibilities, right? That
Mhm.
is set up with the government, and they say we'll do these things while we are here. Peterson, you're very aware of is that Lamco, right? So in Kanta, right?
Yeah,
So
Yekepa.
Yekepa. So in Liberia back then, we saw how Lamco developed a certain part of Yekepa,
Yep.
right? We saw the investments that they did there. Those are not Liberians. That was a German company, right?
Wait, Swedish.
Yeah, Swedish company. They developed that part of Yekepa, right? So and the reason why they did that, because the government sat down with them and said, listen, you have a social corporate responsibility to the
Okay.
people here.
Okay.
So while you are here and taking whatever minerals you're taking from here, we want you to do certain things. And they did
Mm,
those things.
okay. Okay.
Firestone develop a part of Liberia,
Okay. Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Now, no, but let me also say this, right?
Mm-hmm.
I know we run out of time, so I'll
Yeah.
rest. I'll rest.
Yeah, folks. I mean, obviously, there's a 1 hour show. We can't keep it. I mean, it's an interesting one. It's an
But
interesting
but
topic.
but, but I think I should finish up, because if somebody hear my thoughts and not hear the last part I have to say, it will be
Yeah,
very
go
unfinished,
ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Go
right?
ahead. Go ahead. Yeah, go
So
ahead.
so so what I'm saying here is that
Mhm.
Liberians, when we sit at a table, we should show love for our country and not greed. Right now, a lot of things that we are doing in Liberia and other parts of the world, we are greedy. We are
Mhm.
greedy. We're not putting Liberia first. And so when it comes to negotiation and other things, we are putting individuals first and
Okay.
not the country as a large.
That's
Okay.
true. That
Yeah.
part is true.
Well, folks, tonight we are discussing diaspora life, easing family and social stress, or political stress, or lack of system stress, you know, or lack of development, all those things. But this is a 1 hour show, and we're going kind of a 1 hour into it already, so we can't keep going. But Miss Jerry, I just want to point this out to you quick, right? What our commenter say here, right? The issue, all the issue you're just, I mean, you're talking about, it's not only limited to Liberia though. There's an Africa in general issue, right? It's like there's an Africa in general issue. The entire Africa, you could be talking about Nigeria or Ghana, but even that Nigeria and Ghana is not all gravy, man.
Oh no, we do understand it's not all gravy. We're not saying they're all gravy. And that's not what we're trying to say. We should
Hmm.
understand that Africa is still suffering from what? Colonization. A lot of these war power or European power, they still have control over a lot of African countries and what we do with our resources and what we do with our money. All of these things come into play. It's a much bigger problem. So we're not saying that you're perfect. We're not saying Ghana is perfect. We're not saying we're not saying none of that. My only point I'm trying to make, we understand that these problems do exist. We have we have a problem like real with corruption. We're not having system in place. However, the question is now if a stress and how stressed we are. The question is, what can we do to make things better with the resources we have here? That's what I'm trying to say.
But if we are stressed about the lack of system, how can we develop it?
That's
It is not. It is not left with us. We
Yeah,
we, we elect people. We elect these so-called leaders
yeah,
to build systems. Like one brother just said here just now,
yeah,
right?
right there, right there. Yeah,
Yeah.
Richard, come on, yeah,
This is the Honorable Richard Kraman.
yeah,
My brother RK, fair points you're making here, and I agree. Right? If the government can put in place systems to enable us and other and other foreigners to go to that country and invest, we will do it. Mind you, Liberia is one of the most racist countries in Africa. Actually, it's the most racist country in Africa.
Mm.
oh,
Yes,
Okay.
why? Yes, why?
Well, that's gonna be a whole nother topic.
No, but
Yeah.
it hinders a lot of development.
Okay.
The Lebanese man cannot go to that country and invest in it like he wants to. Even a Ghanaian man cannot go to that country and invest in it like he wants to. Why? Because you just can't go to Liberia and become a citizen. You just can't go to Liberia and own certain things if you're not a Liberian citizen. That's a big topic. That's a different one.
like
And it's a
that's.
major hindrance.
I feel like I really love that system because it protects Liberians. We
How
are
so?
we
So
are
what if the white people here after you say, Jory, you can't come to this country and buy anything, own any business and build houses here? If you can't do that, how are they protecting themselves? This economy is for everybody.
this is America. We're talking about Liberia.
So what's the difference?
Okay. You know, they people want to join to politics, right? They want to.
Like, that's the issue, my friend.
Yeah,
I
go
We
can't
should
ahead.
hear you. Your Wi-Fi tripping. We'll see you next week. I gotta go, man. I'll see y'all, man.
So,
Oh, man, I gotta take off, man.
yeah, we gotta wrap it up. I'm coming wrap it up. We need your last thought. We need your last thought. Don't just take off. So as we
No, I
wrap
think
up,
I think I left a topic for us to think about. Maybe we can bring
yeah,
it on
we'll think
next week
about
or
it.
so.
We'll think about it. But you gotta wrap up here because you had dropped a lot of bombs here tonight. So we can't just let you leave that. We can't just let you leave that. But folks, right? This is the 1 hour show. It's been a great discussion tonight. You know, we hope we can continue such a discussion. May is a mental health month. So once every little time until meal can end, right, we'll bring such a topic
this
just to
topic
discuss. It was
alone
fun.
today is giving me stress. Just this topic alone,
Oh,
I'm
this
already.
topic will give you stress. Okay, so I will end with you, right? What is the message you want to leave with folks, right? Folks that are here, all of those that are in the diaspora, like live, the family stress, the political stress, lack of system. How can we balance it? How can we find that, balance or tune? How can we tune? Miss Jerry, of course, what is the last word you want to leave our audience tonight?
I'll say again, we shouldn't allow the things, the negative within our country and the lack of system and corruption to stop us from doing things over there. We have the power to go back collectively, not just one person. I'll say
Mhm,
collectively and
mhm.
make big changes if we really want to. So
Okay.
I was having this conversation. They said we Liberians, we are born politicians. We are good at talking blah 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 blah. Who get most of the work done? The politicians do the work, the business people get the work done because what? They have the resources, they have the money.
Okay.
So we who have the money over here, if we go back collectively, do you know how much change we can make with all those politicians yapping and yapping and yapping? Because
Okay.
what? We have the power to do it.
Okay. Peterson, your last word. Message you want to leave with the audience tonight.
Yeah, thank you all so much for an interesting show and everybody who contributed. Thank you. I just want to say for those of us in the diaspora, yes, it is stressful when you think about balancing your life wherever you're living versus Liberia if you still have family. I know there are people that would say, all of my family is out of Liberia, but you still have like a friend or somebody that is in that
Hmm.
country. And we need to just think of it that everything is not done overnight. I know corruption is rampant. There's lack of accountability. There's no systems in place, but we need to have the mindset that, okay, how can we improve how can we change these things? And if we all keep going back and trying, we'll succeed one day. It's not going to happen overnight, and everybody won't fail. So thank you.
Okay. Sam, your last word. You have dropped a lot of bomb here tonight on the Liberian people. A book coming for you.
Yeah, no, I mean,
Message you want to leave. Message you want to leave tonight for the audience.
like I said, man, I remind you guys again. I am a Liberian. I'm proud to be one. I love my country. I probably love my country more than any of you guys here tonight. Right?
I'm not sure about that part, but yeah, oh well.
Key word, probably. You know, and so we can't even measure that, right? But what we can really measure is the fact that our country, Liberia, has no system that can invite us or even foreigners to go back and give our all. Justice system is nothing. You can go to that country while investing. Somebody can beat you die free. You can go to bed in the night, no guarantee that you'll wake up tomorrow morning because no security. Somebody can come rob you. You call police will take you, but can't get in gas before they can come to you.
I mean, that the book country talking about. Let's do that.
But this is our country. This is the country that we have. But this is the country that you're telling me I should leave my children in America to go to and go risk my life because of what? Because I was born there. When you born there, you can die there.
Okay.
So we gotta ask our government, we gotta ask our people, we gotta keep fighting for a better system. Because until we can get a better system, Liberians will not want to go to that country and invest.
Okay.
I can tell you if things were and people will say, oh, but you can't sit down over there and you're expecting to change. I mean, we have done some things, right? Personally, I have done some things. I know some Liberians who have done something to try to change the system, but it's not changing. That talking will talk. I mean, we'll talk, we'll do some things, but at the end of the day, the people on the ground will have to do the majority of the work.
Okay.
And so until we get to where we need to get, however we'll get there, we will continue to choose what is best for us personally, for us and our families. We will make our decisions. And however, when y'all want to argue about it, are your business.
Okay. Well, folks, that's the end of our show tonight. It's been a great discussion. Sam said because the men be how the men can say how, so y'all want stressing out to go there, to try to move back home there. The men can do that. They all just getting that.
If I put out a gun, I can say it. If it's in a truck, I can say it.
Somebody teach
you know what I mean?
Well, folks, it's been a great show tonight. And I'm glad we're talking about investment here because tomorrow Miss Jerry and Miss B are launching something special for the community, something special. So tomorrow, tune into the business segment. But it's been a great show tonight, and we're going to be back here again Thursday for another great topic. But gentlemen, Miss Jerry, man, thank you so much for a great discussion tonight. And see you all tomorrow. I
think we need to talk about the open door policy that Tata is mentioning here.
We'll choose another topic. We'll choose
that because
choose another topic. You know, those
are is not welcoming to foreigners.
Yeah, those are want to invest in Africa or whatever.
It is not welcoming to foreigners. Not just things on paper, but the reality. Liberia is not welcoming to foreigners. Lack of security, lack of this, lack of that.
Foreigners rule Liberia. Foreigners rule Liberia.
Yeah, they do, but on a very mediocre level. I mean, there can be more people who will come into the country.
Okay. Well, folks, that's the end of our show tonight.
I want to invest my $3.4 billion in Liberia, but I'm scared.
See you all tomorrow. You guys have a good night.
Let's do that, man.